Hey everybody, welcome back to the garage. We're going to do some work on the brake cross shaft assembly. I'm trying to drive a shaft out of some bushings, but first I got to get rid of a couple rivets.
What's up guys, hello everyone. What I've got here is 1935, 1936. Most people call it like a brake cross shaft or a brake actuator. This is essentially what runs the rods to the front and back of the car. It sits, if the hood's that way and the rear end is towards the camera, it sits right under the transmission up against like the X member. When you push on the pedal, it takes the shaft this way, which pulls the front rods this way towards you, and it pulls the back rods towards the front of the car, and that's what moves the brakes. Not moves the brakes, but actuates the brakes. My problem is here, we've got a lot of play, and so I want to take this bushing here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a bushing here, there's a bushing here. I want to take those out, replace them, so that I don't have quite as much play and slop in it. And I think what I'm going to need to do in order to do that is grind the top of these two pins off and see if I can either punch them out or drill them out. I'm hoping it's just punch. Anyway, if I do that, then I can pull the shaft out that way, being able to remove this piece, and then I can go in there and fix those bushings. That's the plan. Let's see if it goes. So I ground it down. I think I just missed the footage. If you look ever so slightly, you can see where, yeah, there on the right side, you can see a little bit of it. I'm gonna try punch first. 2-pound brass hammer, punch, not attached to the bench. I'm just gonna give it one good strike, maybe two. To be honest, I feel like this punch is about the same size as that pin that I'm trying to drive out. Not sure. Plan B, mark what seems to be the center and drill. Arbitrarily picked a 7/32 drill bit. What else? I can all hear you yelling, oil. No, I don't. It's all gone. I'll have to get it wet. There we go. Not the side, of course. That's what I get for not being more precise. So just to show my mistakes, there, the hole on the top is the first one I drilled through. The second one that you can see all the way through is the one I just drilled. And I tried to obviously push it a different direction. I'm a little happier with that one. And just so you know, the part number on this, I believe, is 48-2468. How crazy is that? Well, from that, we're gonna step up to, ooh, it's still hot. What do you mean, friction? 3/16. So 5/30 seconds to 3/16. Gotta love the smell of burnt 3-in-1 oil. Let's go up one more. 13/64. It's been good. Just for shits and grins. You ever work in a shop and then you start hearing your mentor or your dad in your head? Clamp it down so it doesn't move around on you so much. Hey Dad, I hear you loud and clear. Hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. There. That will keep it from rotating. Be really sweet. It has moved. You don't need to see. You'll believe it here in a second. Oh, I do need it to move. What can I use to go down in that hole that won't get stuck? I don't have a smaller punch. Yeah, I do. So small I didn't see it. Small enough. Not too shabby. Definitely wasn't straight through. 70 years in there, but I had to knock it out, didn't I? Back in a minute. Benefit of living 2 miles away from a big box. Let's see how close we got with this one. Oh, much better. Much better, I think. came out too, right? Is this the second one? Is this the first one? Here's one. No. Yeah, so having this actually comes out pretty easily. There we go. Now you can see how much play there was. And I'm not even guaranteed that this thing's round, right? But I need to drive those bushings out of there. This bushing's super dirt all the way around. Wonder if I can do that myself without effing them up. Probably not, it says here. The other thing I need to figure out is where do I get bushings at size. Okay. Clean this up a little bit. Yeah, you can see this whole thing is funky. I'm gonna have to have maybe this turned all the way down. So the verdict's still out as to whether this whole thing can be fixed or repaired. There's a shoulder right here, like this whole thing's worn down. Here's where the two pieces were held, and then there's a bushing here and a bushing here. And this part right here is so worn down, there's a huge shoulder there. Yeah, I mean, you can see how much space is in there. You can see the daylight. So, like I said, I'm not quite sure if we'll be able to repair that part. I have my eye on a whole separate assembly on eBay. We'll see how that goes. I'm trying to find one that I feel is reasonably priced but doesn't have the slop in it. We will fill you in later.